Hi, and welcome to another presentation from your business tutor, learning your way, anytime, anywhere. The price of a product is an incredibly important aspect in a customer's purchasing decision. This is why it is vital that a business get this element of the marketing mix right if it is to persuade customers to choose their product. So with that, let's introduce today's presentation topic, which will look at the pricing strategies used by organisations. Okay, so what are we going to learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we're going to find out why the price element of the marketing mix is important, and then we're going on to explore different pricing strategies used by businesses. Okay, let's get started by asking, why is the price element of the marketing mix important? Price is the amount a business charges a customer to purchase their product. As such, it is the element of the marketing mix that puts an actual value on a product being sold. Given this, it is really important that a business gets its price right, because if it sets it too high, no one will buy its product. But equally, if it sets its price too low, it won't earn enough to cover its costs. What this shows is that pricing can have a major influence on how effectively an organisation achieves its objectives, such as higher sales or increased profitability. So with that in mind, let's turn to look at what pricing strategies a business might use by first asking, what is low pricing? Low pricing describes a situation where a business sells its product at a lower price than its competitors. One advantage of doing this is that it will help a business achieve high sales, as customers who are price conscious will switch to them. This of course will then help the business increase its market share, meaning its product will become better known, which should encourage even more sales. Better yet, and because the business is now experiencing higher sales, it will be able to buy raw materials in greater bulk, which will reduce its cost of production, meaning even though it is charging a low price, it will still be able to make a good profit, as its costs are also lower. However, although low pricing does have many benefits, there are issues with its use as well. For example, charging a low price creates an image amongst customers that the product is not very good quality, which would be a big issue if the business's target customers are quality conscious. Further still, maintaining a low price puts a lot of pressure on a business to keep its costs low so that profit is made. Okay, let's now turn to a pricing strategy from the opposite end of the spectrum by asking, what is premium or high pricing? Premium pricing is a strategy which involves a business charging a higher price than their competitors for a similar product. In general, this is because the business's product is seen as being of a higher quality or has been branded. In fact, this is one of the advantages of this pricing strategy, in that charging a premium helps a business create an image of exclusivity around its product, which appeals to a certain group of customers. Better yet, because such customers are willing to pay more, it means a business may be able to generate more profit per product it sells. However, because premium pricing involves charging a higher price, it does mean that a business's target market may be smaller than if it were charging a lower price, which obviously will have a negative effect on sales. Further still, given premium pricing is dependent upon maintaining an image of quality and exclusivity, it means money will need to be spent on not only using the best raw materials when making the product, which will increase costs, but also in creating a strong brand image and maintaining it. In that, any negative press around the product could affect its premium image and hence its sales. Okay, let's now turn to a very common pricing strategy used by tradespeople such as plumbers, or organisations that complete project work such as building bridges, by asking, what is cost-based or cost-plus pricing? This pricing strategy is all about a business making a certain amount of profit every time it sells a product or completes a job. How it works is a business will calculate how much it costs to make a product or complete a job before adding on a fixed amount or percentage for profit. For example, in this instance, it costs £10 to make a product, which the business has then added on £5 for profit, meaning the final price charged to the customer will be £15. Now, as you have probably worked out from the example, such a pricing strategy is very easy to use and means a business will always be covering its costs. This is useful because it guarantees a business will make a profit as long as it sells all the products it makes. However, if a business produces too many products, which it can't sell, or gets its costings wrong, it can mean that such a pricing strategy could result in losses being made. Furthermore, cost-based pricing is rather inflexible, in so much that it doesn't adapt to market conditions. For example, it doesn't matter if demand is high or low. Cost-based pricing would still charge the same amount, meaning profits and sales that could have been gained are missed. Okay, let's now turn to a couple of strategies that are used when a product is launched, by first asking, what is skimming pricing? The skimming pricing strategy is often used by organisations that are first to market with a new product that is eagerly anticipated by customers. As such, when the product is first launched, a high price is charged, as the business knows that some customers will be willing to pay a premium to be the first to purchase the product, meaning high profits will be made. However, once the initial customer frenzy dies down, or competitors begin to enter the market, the business will start to gradually lower its price in order to maintain sales and market share. As can be seen, this pricing strategy is flexible as it adapts to the market conditions it faces, meaning profits are maximised during the early stages of its launch, before reverting to sales growth once competitors enter the market. Nevertheless, skimming can run into problems if a business misreads the market and alters its pricing at the wrong time or at the wrong pace. For example, if price is not reduced quickly enough after the initial launch, it will allow competitors to steal market share, meaning a business may see a big drop in sales. Okay, let's turn to our second pricing strategy that can be used during a product's launch by asking, what is penetration or introductory pricing? This pricing strategy is often used by organisations that are entering into a highly competitive marketplace. As such, and to persuade customers to switch to their product, a business will charge a lower price than its competitors to gain a foothold in the market and high sales. From here, it is then hoped that those customers that switched will have liked the product so much that they will not only continue to buy it, but will also spread positive word of mouth, which will attract further customers. Nevertheless, although the business will have achieved some good sales, it does need to be remembered that this has been at the expense of profit because such a low price has been charged. In fact, it might be the case that during this initial phase that a business has had to sell its product at a price that actually results in a loss. As such, this is when this pricing strategy comes under real pressure, because once sales have hit a certain point, the business will either gradually or immediately increase its price in line with those of its competitors, so that it can begin to make some profit. Now, this is all well and good if a business can maintain its sales, as the higher price will result in increased profits. However, if customers switch back to competitors, it means a business may be left with a lot of unsold inventory it cannot sell at the higher price. Okay, let's now turn to look at another strategy that aims to increase sales by asking, what is promotional pricing? Promotional pricing is very similar to penetration pricing, but rather than being used during the introduction phase of the product life cycle, it is generally used during the maturity stage. How it works is that a business will reduce the price of its product for a short period of time, in order to persuade customers who have stopped buying or who have switched to another brand to purchase it again and therefore increase sales. This is done because it is hoped that by getting customers to buy again, that they will realise what they were missing and will continue to purchase when the price is subsequently increased. However, as before, it does need to be remembered that although charging a low price will increase sales, it will also have a negative effect on profits. Further still, if sales fall away as soon as the price is increased again, the strategy will have failed in prolonging the life cycle of the product. Okay, let's now turn to a pricing strategy that uses science to persuade customers to purchase by asking, what is psychological pricing? This strategy uses the idea that certain prices or the way a price is displayed can influence sales levels. For example, psychological pricing would suggest that pricing a product at £9.99 would have a more positive effect on sales than charging £10, because although it is only 1 pence cheaper, it seems more because many customers may miss the 99 pence part as it uses a small font size. What this shows is that by pricing products in this way, sales can be increased considerably at little cost to the business. However, a negative effect of this is that although a customer may fall for this on the first occasion they purchased the product, they are far less likely to the next time. In fact, if the customer felt tricked when they first bought the product, they may decide not to purchase it again due to the price strategy being used. Okay, let's now turn to a pricing strategy which sounds illegal but isn't, by asking, what is discriminatory pricing? This pricing strategy adapts the price it charges based on the different types of customer the business sells to. For example, bus companies set different prices for children, adults and old age pensioners, whereas some clothes retailers provide student discounts. This tactic can be useful because by charging different groups of customers different prices, it may allow a business to tap into a market it might not otherwise have been able to sell to, which increases sales. However, a business does need to remember that by selling to certain groups of customers at a discount, that profits will be adversely affected. Nevertheless, a business may be willing to take that hit if those customers tend to purchase the product at times when demand is low. For example, old age pensioners using the bus when rush hour has ended. In fact, the time a customer purchases a product is also another way in which a business uses price discrimination. For example, telephone companies charge more for calls during the day than in the evening, whereas travel companies charge more for trips during the school holidays. As you can probably work out, this is so sales can be maximised when demand is low by charging a low price, and so profits can be maximised when demand is high by charging a high price. However, as with any such pricing method, it is really important that customers paying a higher price don't feel ripped off, as this may turn them off the product and reduce sales. Okay, let's now turn to look at a pricing strategy which is actually illegal by asking, what is destroyer or predatory pricing? Destroyer pricing is when a business with considerable market power and financial resources reduces the price of its product to a very low level to get rid of all the competition in a market before then increasing its price above what it had been previously. For example, from a starting price of £1, a business using destroyer pricing may cut its price to 10 pence so that customers switch and their competitors fail, before then increasing its price to a much higher point of £2. How it is able to do this is because large businesses often have sizable cash reserves, which allow them to cover the losses made when charging such a low price. Further still, and because their smaller competitors cannot match their super low price, they also know that the losses they initially incur will only be temporary until all the customers in the market switch to them. This is because after all their competitors have failed and they are left as the only business in the market, they will be able to increase their price significantly above where it had been previously in order to make huge profit. However, although this pricing strategy increases sales and profits significantly, it does need to be remembered that it is illegal, and therefore a business would face court action and fines if it tried to use it. Okay, let's now turn to another pricing strategy that uses low pricing to increase sales by asking, what is a loss leader? The loss leader pricing strategy is used in business to increase the sales of multiple products in a store. How it works is a business sets the price of a popular product at an unprofitably low price to attract customers into their shop, to not only buy the loss leader, but other products as well. The idea is that although a loss is being made on one product, that the profit generated from increased sales on other products more than makes up for it. In fact, to ensure higher sales are achieved, a business will usually locate its loss leader in a position where customers have to pass lots of other products in the hope that they select some before going to the till to pay. Better still, if the loss leader pricing strategy can be sustained for a period of time, and the business ensures it also delivers great customer service, it may be able to persuade a number of customers to permanently switch even after the price rises again. However, the big fear associated with using the loss leader pricing strategy is that if new customers just go in to buy that item alone, that the increase in sales expected on other products won't happen, meaning the strategy will have been ineffective and costly to run. Okay, so that leaves us with our final pricing strategy, which interestingly doesn't use price to achieve its objective. So let's investigate by asking, what is competitive pricing? A competitive pricing strategy is when the price a business sets is in line with those of its competitors. In general, this strategy is used because it has been realised that price is not an effective way to compete. For example, in a market where all the products are very similar, there is no customer loyalty, and profit margins are low, using price to compete might end up being counterproductive, in that any price cut by one business will be instantly matched by all the others to avoid losing customers, meaning the only outcome will be that each business sees its profits fall as they are now charging lower prices. What this means is that in a market where competitive pricing exists, other elements of the market and mix are used instead of price to compete. As such, although competitive pricing allows a business to maintain its profit margin, it does put a lot of pressure on a business to ensure the rest of its market and mix is strong. For example, a business may have to spend considerable amounts of money on advertising to convince customers to choose their product over those of competitors. Okay, so what did we learn in this presentation? Well, first of all, we found out why the price element of the market and mix is important, and then we went on to explore different pricing strategies used by businesses. Selecting an effective pricing strategy is a challenging decision. Nevertheless, if a business has an in-depth understanding of not only its product, but the customers it wants to target and the market in which it operates, it will have a much better chance of choosing an appropriate pricing strategy that will help it achieve its organisational objectives.